Hello everyone, thank you for checking out today's video. In this video, we're going to be covering UI policies on ServiceNow. Now, in our previous video, we actually set up a client script that checks to see if the user selects package media here on the request for backup catalog item. And if they select package media and they leave the special requirements field blank and they try to submit, they get thrown this alert that says they need to fill in the special requirements field down here. And then it prevents them from submitting anything until there's something in this box. What we could do instead is let's actually go in and let's disable that client script that we set up. And just so you guys know, a UI policy dynamically changes the behavior of information on a form and controls custom process flows for tasks. So that's ServiceNow's definition for it. So what we're doing now is we're disabling that client script. Okay, and then let me go back to our catalog item and I'll show you guys how we can actually set up the UI policy. So while you're on the form here, if you just right click in the subheader, you're going to have a configure catalog UI policies option. Okay, and once we have that, you'll see any existing UI policies for the catalog items. We don't have any right now. For this catalog item, we don't have any. So let's hit new. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to make special requirements mandatory for packaged media. Okay, so these are the conditions. So this is when this UI policy should run. Do we want it to run on load? We do. But we also want it to reverse if false. So in case the conditions don't match, it shows it that is not the case. So because we're trying to make special requirements mandatory, we don't want it to be mandatory if these conditions aren't met. And then we also want it to remain on load as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and select this, what needs to be backed up. And let's select packaged media. Okay, so anytime packaged media is selected, this UI policy will run, and then you can select if you want it just to run on the catalog item view, which is the form view that we were just looking at, or if you also want it to run on the rec items and or catalog tasks. And you could add in additional conditions here if you want to, obviously, or you could even script it if you're not able to get what you want through the condition builder. Okay, let's hit submit. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to set up our actions on our UI policy. So we'll hit new. Then we need to select the variable name that we're trying to perform the action on. So that's special requirements. And then you could set the order. So if you have multiple UI policies in place, you're going to want to set the order, because if you're trying to do multiple things with the same order, you may run into problems where it's creating unpredictable behavior. So you may need to reorder your requirements if needed. Your requirements, I'm sorry. You may want to change the order on your UI policies if needed. Okay, so these are your different options. You have the field message type. So you can set up field message types such as info, warning, error. You can also do that through scripting, but we don't need that. Actually, let's do that. So let's set up an info message. So please provide the brand for your packaged media. Okay, so that should show a blue alert message underneath that field. Value action, you can either set clear or clear value. Read only, so we can choose to set that as read only if we want. We could choose to change the visibility, or we can choose to make mandatory true or false, which is what we're trying to do. So now what we're doing is anytime package media is selected, we're setting special requirements to true, and we're also displaying that cool little blue message underneath the field so they know what to put there. Okay, let's hit submit. And everything looks to be the way we want it to. Cool. All right, so let's head back over to that catalog item and let's test it out. Okay, so once we select packaged media, we should see an asterisk here, a red asterisk, and then we should also see the blue alert message appear underneath this field. And look at that, special requirements is now required. Please provide the brand for your packaged media. So we'll just say Microsoft. And then we can submit because everything is filled out that was required. All right, guys, it is that easy to set up UI policies. I hope this is able to help you guys get started. And they're very powerful. So like I mentioned in all my other videos, there's almost always more than one way to do something on ServiceNow. UI policies are one way, client scripts are one way, business rules are another way. So you'll just have to decide what is the most efficient and the best way to go about what you're trying to achieve. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing to the channel. Catch you all in the next video very soon.